Hello, you guys, and welcome to making my Valentine box. So, basically, what I wanted to do was to go along with us doing our exchanges for the Valentine's card. I wanted to kind of create a old school type Valentine container that I can put all my mail in as I get it into the mailbox. So I remember this kind of as an idea back, I think it might have been second or third grade. I love Valentine's and I love the Valentine parties. But I remember all along one wall, my teacher, I think we decorated it, but we had made our own little Valentine boxes out of paper plates. And so I thought, I'm going to do that as well. But I want to use this oval type, this oval uh, shaped paper plate to kind of create more space. And plus, it's kind of one of those heavy duty paper plates because I wasn't really sure what I was going to be getting in the mail. And I wanted to make sure that I had enough room to put the envelopes. So basically, I'm just applying some Mod Podge. This isn't the Mod Podge brand, but it's a decoupage uh, to the to the back side of the paper plate. So I had thought about painting it, but then I thought, the real quick way to do it as well is just to add some tissue paper. So I took some pink tissue paper and I just kind of ripped it up. And again, this is just having fun. It's not has to be perfect, but there wasn't any reason to cover the entire paper plate because I'm going to have that bottom half covered up with the other half of the plate. So basically what I did was I took two plates, one I cut in half, and I had already punched holes. And actually a regular hole punch worked great. And I just punched probably like every inch or half inch. I just basically punched a hole because I plan on running yarn through to hold to create like um, a container to where you put the half on top and then you sew it together. You'll see here in just a moment exactly what I'm trying to describe. So I have that part completed and now I want to bring in the other half. This is the part, so I'm actually doing the back side because I'm going to be putting it, um, making like a pocket. So I'm just adding more glue to the back side of that other paper plate that I had cut in half and added holes. And I'm just going to be adding some confetti um, tissue paper. So the thing with this fun little confetti tissue paper is it's a little bit more thicker than your average real thin, colorful tissue paper. And so it was kind of easier to work with as far as being able to add it to the plate. I'm just trimming it around again. I'm kind of leaving those holes exposed because I definitely want to be able to have space to to be able to run my yarn through. So um, again, just kind of adding not a whole lot, but just to make sure that it is sticking together. See how I'm kind of holding it together, and then you have like that little, actually like a little pocket. Um, so yeah, so it turned out really cute. Again, I'm going to be adding some paint on there. So you see the part that's exposed at the top there, it's okay because I'm going to be doing some paint to cover up that surface there. And of course I want to go with pink because pink being my signature color. So I'm just using some basic acrylic paint, some pink and some white. I'm going to be mixing it together and then I'm just going to be doing the trim around where the holes are actually. So instead of having white, I can basically cover in that space with some paint. I love mixing the white with the actual paint color because it just kind of adds some different coloring, some dark, some light. It's not all the same matte color. I mean, it's kind of it does gives it some little highlights when you add the white. So I did that side. I'm just going to do this top layer as well, just to kind of cover in those exposed places. that the tissue paper didn't quite cover. And once I have this painted, I'm going to go ahead and set it aside and let it dry. Okay, now that I've had it dry, I went ahead and started, instead of having to do it all on camera, I went ahead and started sewing the two pieces together. And I showed you just a moment ago at the end of this yarn, it's really cute yarn too, by the way. It's like this confetti yarn. Um, I put a piece of washi and to make kind of like a sharp point. I just covered the end in washi so it wouldn't unravel and be easy to poke through the holes here. So I'm just kind of just threading it along. It's kind of an over and through the hole. And then I'm just basically kind of creating a knot there since I'll be finishing it up. I wasn't really sure how much. I didn't know whether I should do like a bow at the end to kind of like add decoration to it. I wasn't really sure. That's one of the reasons why there is so much thread at the end. And then I decided I just really didn't like it. So I'm just going to kind of cut some off because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to add like a little bow at the end of these two different stitchings or if I'm just going to leave it as is. Um, so yeah, so I'm kind of like not indecisive on what I'm going to do, but I just decided I'm just going to tie it in the back for now, and that way I can just decorate it and see what happens on this end. So again, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to be hanging it too, because I want to make sure it's sturdy enough to be able to hang. But in the meantime, let's decorate. So I'm adding some hot glue here to put on this really cute ribbon. It's almost like a ruffly pink ribbon. And so I'm just adding that to the lip there. And then of course I have this adorable pom-pom uh, trim. And I actually get this at Walmart, and I think it's like 250 or something for it. Um, but anytime I'm there and I see it, I pick it up because I've used it, and it also goes fun like in little Happy Meals and things like that. So I'm always kind of get messy with this, and I decide, I better do this kind of little by little on this because it was getting really that glue was getting really messy on um, on that ruffly ribbon. It wasn't cooperating very well. But yeah, so it's really I love this pom pom ribbon, and it's not that expensive either, and it's so cute because it's rainbow color. So I thought it looked so whimsical and happy, and definitely Valentine's. And actually, I started thinking as I was creating this, I said, this would be something to have year round, just as a place to put mail that comes in, like your little happy mail, or maybe some mail that's going to go out if you have some cards. And actually, you'll see that I kind of end up creating something that can be versatile for not just Valentine's, but for other holidays as well. So I'm using a little piece of my art there to kind of like, I love this little girl with the purple hair, and it has the scripture of love on the card as well. So I thought that would be really perfect for Valentine's and just basically sending love out as well. So I'm just kind of playing around. I love my unicorn, so I was trying to fit that little guy in, but it just kind of wasn't working um, very well. But I did want to put some layers, but it actually ended up being kind of a small space there, so I had to kind of play around with it to see what exactly would work in that space. So I'm just trimming her up a little bit, and I'm going to add some glue to her and to this piece of cardstock, and then glue her into place. Like I said, this is something that's really, it can be versatile. So I didn't want to make it just straight Valentine, so even though I'm going to be adding lots of hearts, but hearts are, year round. So this cute little heart, I bought these. It actually came in one of my kits like several years ago. It's a little felt heart. It's so cute. It's like a little fuzzy felt heart. And I just love having them on my desk in general for decorations, but and you'll see what I end up using this for. So yeah, so I just ended up going with some sparkly foam hearts for decorating the outside of the next to the girl on the page. So, and I'm going to be using some of my favorite tool, polka dot tool that I have to actually create the hanger for this cute little Valentine box. And so, yeah, I love this piece of vintage lace that I purchased in a bulk items from when I went to Warrington Trade Days. They had she had bins and bins and bins, and so you could buy like a whole bag of some for I don't know so many dollar amounts. So I bought several because you can never have enough little vintage lace or material for projects. So yeah, so I'm just using my Tim Holtz stapler to staple this tool in place and to act as my hanger on my project. Kind of goes with keeps with the theme with the confetti and the happy and the sparkle, the polka dots and everything. So yeah, so I end up liking that piece up there. I definitely um, wanted to add a little something to the top there, and so that piece of lace was perfect. I'm just gonna secure it on the back side here. Don't want to burn my fingers. I think I've mentioned this in several videos. Anytime I use hot glue, I always use the end of my scissors to kind of secure things in place because I'm always worried about burning my finger. That's when I kind of decide I'll just leave that on the back side and not worry about adding, keeping it tight on the back. I'm not going to cut it or anything like that. Um, So yeah, so what I decided to do was I still wanted to make this Valentine's, but I wanted to make it where I could remove it and use it for other things as well. So I kind of created a little. I had these cute little bull clips that I was going to clip this Happy Valentine's die cut on, and then I said, oh, you know what? I could hot glue that little felt heart onto that bull clip, and now I have a whimsical, cute little clip that I can use. So I went and got some mail that I had already received. I want to show you guys real quick. Oops, yeah. So see, it's just like a little clip. And actually, I love the idea. I'm like, oh, that would be cute in a kit as well. So yeah, I got my Happy Mail and I'm ready to go with my Valentines. Okay, so this is just a more of a close-up where I have it hanging in on my art studio door. So yeah, so it actually is really good. I just used a wreath hanger and then I just kind of set it on there. And I'm ready for some Valentines.